Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Flip. Welcome to the channel, and today we are talking about every Blu-ray that I picked up between September and now. Every time I tried to make this video, I was getting new stuff in the mail, and I wanted to at least watch most of it. Now, we got anime, we got Tokusatsu, we got Arrow Video, we got Criterion, we got Indicator, we got so much goodness in this haul here, guys. I'm looking at it, and it's absolutely insanely beautiful. Now, some of these titles I have done more in-depth reviews on or have done dedicated videos for. So if I have, I will note. But let's kick things off with the big boy, with the thing that everyone is going to be spamming you to with. I wanted to do an unboxing, but there's already 10,000 of them on there. And that is the Friday the 13th box set. This is from Scream Factory, my very first Scream Factory titles. Now, I was lucky enough to where there's been some problems with the set. Now, I got lucky and all my movies are correct. I didn't get no part 2 times 2. You know, people are getting the same movie twice. But one of my discs is slightly scratched. It does play, but it is kind of annoying that you're paying over $100 for something that is not perfect. So I do like this box set. I like the artwork quite a bit. I wish they would have used something similar to what Arrow uses for their box sets, because this is very thin and flimsy, and I feel like over time and with a lot of use, this is not going to hold up very well, which is kind of depressing because it is such a nice looking set, and I think it would have benefited from having a sturdier cardboard. Now, not a Blu-ray or a DVD, but I got something really cool. This is the Lighthouse on VHS. There's a company called, what are they called? Devon's Home Video. And I don't know if this is official or not, but this is a VHS tape of the Lighthouse. This is my favorite A24 film. This is one of my favorite films of all time. My favorite film in 2019. I got this just because I want a nice little thing for the shelf. You know, eventually when we build the home theater, I will have that kind of propped up there. Now let's get into some anime real quick. Now, Discotek had their September titles delayed into I think October 1st. It was like the very first couple days of October. But then their October titles came just a few days later. So we got, I don't know which one of these came in September, which one of these came in October technically, because they both came a few days apart. And this is such a good lineup. So, of course, they are still pumping out Lupin the Third. This is the Pursuit of Harimau's Treasure. I haven't seen this yet, but this has a little bit of a warning on here because there is some homophobic stuff in there. There's a Nazi in there. So they do have a little bit of a warning. And the guys at Discotek did a good job kind of writing a little brief essay. And then my favorite title of the month from them is New Getter Robo. You guys know I'm a massive mecha fan. And this is such a fun series. Now, I have the DVD somewhere, the DVD box set from Genion. And Volume 4 was getting really hard to find. It was getting out of print. But this series got a nice little, not a full HD upscale, but it looks good. It looks good enough, and it's such a fun series. And then we got something that I haven't even opened. I don't even know what it is, but I collect every Discotek title, so this is just a collector's sake. This is Isuka. Everything I've seen on this is usually pretty mediocre. The little tagline in the back says, "When a boy meets a girl, usually there's less demons involved." That's usually how that goes. And then a show that I think a lot of people were excited about, because we didn't think we would get this here in the States, because it probably is such a licensing nightmare, because you have to license the show and the songs, and that is Symphogear. Now, this isn't usually my cup of tea. I don't usually like idol shows, but these are like badass idols who transform with exosuits, and they battle, and it's so much fun. The songs are catchy. Season 1, which is what this is a little mediocre, but then Season 2 is where it gets really, really good. So I assume Discotek is going to be putting out Season 2 of this. We got some new Osamu Tezuka. This is unopened as well. This is Cleopatra. This is a classic. I haven't seen this in so many years, but this is really nice to have on Blu-ray. And then something I did watch, I watched it with the wife, and surprisingly, we both really enjoyed it. I've seen this before. I was actually more surprised that she enjoyed it, because she doesn't usually like overly sexual things, but we got Wicked City on Blu-ray finally. This looks really good. Now, if you are new to anime, I would recommend this, but be forewarned that it's more of the art style that wins you over with this, and it's a very atmospheric title. It's like a Lovecraftian noir, and there is a lot of sex, no penetration or anything. So but it's borderline on that line where it could be, if they had just showed a few things, it would have been a hentai. But the animation does lack in some areas. But like I said, it's moody, it's atmospheric, and it's just one of the best titles that Discotek has put out this year. And then I'm really happy that this got a re-release from Discotek, and that is Space Adventure Cobra, the complete original TV series. So fantastic artwork on the front. Very much a fan of their designs. And Discotek is really good with usually having separate artwork on the inside. But if you guys don't know what Space Adventure Cobra is, I think it's one of the best sci-fi animes of all time. It's a lot of fun. I haven't seen this since I got the original DVDs, I believe, so it's nice to have this on Blu-ray. And then something I watched, I'm not a big fan of the series. I don't know what it is, why people are so drawn to it. And I think it's just me and my personal taste, but we're talking about Case Closed. This is the Zero Enforcer. Now, this show isn't like bad. It's very well animated. It's well directed. The plot's interesting. I just don't like some of the character designs, and I think it just comes down to personal taste. This just isn't for me at all. But I'm happy that people are getting more Case Closed, and I will be picking it up. I've heard the TV series is more what people should like expect from Case Closed, so I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a second chance when hopefully season 1 eventually gets a Blu-ray release. And then we got some Tokusatsu here. So this is Zyram 2. Media Blasters is back. This is their Tokyo Shock line. They kind of disappeared for a little bit, and then I think the first title I picked up from them this year under their Tokyo Shock as well was Tokyo Gore Police, which is one of my favorite Japanese films of all time. But this movie is a lot of fun. I wish we would get Zyram, the original. Discotek actually put out Iria, which is it's somewhere up here. Right here. Iria, Zyram, the animation. And this is like $15, which is actually a pretty good deal. I do gotta say though, it's very bare bones. Especially with all these companies like Criterion and Arrow and Discotek, we're getting so spoiled. But like, it's literally just, and the special features aren't that much either. You get a trailer. You get the making of, which I believe is not very long. You get character and production design, and true story 82 days with the Amiya family. So the extras are kind of alright, I guess, but not a big fan. Now, I ordered this because I really enjoyed this movie. I watched it on streaming, I want to say like maybe 6 months ago, and I'm really disappointed because I think my neighbor stepped on this. So I have an extra Blu-ray case laying around. I'll just swap it out, but that is Prayer Before Dawn, and there is The Damage, so that's fantastic. But yeah, Prayer Before Dawn, great A24 film. Then I picked up some 4K movies. I picked up Fury. This is I think an underrated war film. This is fantastic, and I can't wait to rewatch it in 4K. And then I got The Joker. This is unopened. I like The Joker, but it's a very, I don't want to offend anyone. It's a very chuddy movie. A lot of chuds like this movie. I feel like there's certain movies that those types of people usually tend to ruin. It's like The Joker, Fight Club, V for Vendetta, The Matrix. But I do enjoy The Joker. I think this is a good movie. I think Joaquin Phoenix gives one hell of a performance, especially if you know Joaquin's background and how he grew up. He grew up in the Children of God cult, which was run by Jim Jones. So there's a little fun history fact for you. Then I picked up my first indicator title. This is one of the things I've been looking for a good deal, for a good price for a while, and finally found one, and that is The Five Tall Tales. Bud Bedinger and Randolph Scott at Columbia, 1957 through 1960. It's got The Tall T, Decision at Sundown, Buchanan Rides Alone, Ride Lonesome, and Comanche Station. Now, I really like this little banner that indicated. So, like I said, this is my first indicator release. But I really like this banner that they include because it has which number you got out of 6,000. I got 1,056. This is an out-of-print title. Happy to have it. And guys, like I've been saying, even before I started covering Blu-rays, get a region-free Blu-ray player. It's the best investment you'll ever make, especially if you're an anime fan. A lot of the people who are going to watch this video are here because they know me from manga and anime, and Tokusatsu too. So if you are a fan of any of those things, get a region-free Blu-ray player, guys. Now, I don't know if I should include the other title. I don't know if I covered this in a recent video or not, so I'll just go ahead and bust it out and talk about it. But Ultraman Ginga, Ginga S, and Ultra Fight Victory in the movie. This is probably the best package for Ultraman with the amount of content that's in here and for the price as well. So happy to have this, but then also literally today when I was leaving for work, we got Ultraman RB. I am so damn excited for this. This is one of the things I've been really anticipating. Ultraman, guys, is my favorite Tokusatsu franchise. My favorite Tokusatsu is Mega Beast Investigator Justian, but Ultraman never disappoints. Even when the shows are not as good as the other ones, they're very middling. This one, I believe, is very good, so I'm excited to dive back into this. I love some of the creature design here on the back. I don't know if that's going to show up very well, but yeah, Ultraman RMB and the movie as well. And then we're going to get into some more. Let me see here. We got a couple more anime titles before we dive into the Criterion stuff. We got Be the Beginning. This is put out by Shout Factory, and this actually gives me a little bit of hope because a lot of my favorite anime that are on Netflix never got a Blu-ray release. Devilman Crybaby, I'm looking at you specifically. Now, Be the Beginning really surprised me, and it was a kind of a underdog in the Netflix anime lineup. And the fact that this got a release, and then I believe next month we're getting Violet Evergarden, or in December, in the next couple months we're getting Violet Evergarden, which I saw that one possibly getting a Blu-ray release because it's very popular. But this, and the fact that it got a special edition on top of that, I didn't opt in for the special edition. I don't like this show enough to spend $100 and something on the special edition features, but I'm very happy to have this. This is a very nice Blu-ray release. And then one of the best shows of all time for one of my favorite creators of all time, someone that I think is the best anime director of all time. And we got Paranoia Agent from Satoshi Kon, the late and great Satoshi Kon. So the people, I've been posting this online. People have been asking, how did you get this so early? Best Buy has just the Steelbook, which is what this is, 2 months early. So the standard version that Funimation is putting out is coming out in November. And then this Steelbook specifically is coming out for everybody in December. I think it's the exact same packaging. So if you guys haven't seen this, I highly recommend it. This would be a very good blind buy. I think the Steelbook is only I think it was like $42 and some change on Best Buy. I ordered it online and I went and picked it up. And it's only 12 episodes. There's not any specials, like there's no like booklet or anything in there, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and talk about Criterion. Now, some of these I have talked about on previous videos, so we will just kind of go through these real quick, but I am continuing my love for the Eclipse line. I think the Eclipse line, some of their bundles, like some of the titles that they put out in the Eclipse line, surpass Criterion, in my opinion. And one of those would be the late Ozu, which is Eclipse Series 3. And it says, master filmmaker Ozu directed 53 feature films over the course of his long career. Yes, it was in the final decade of his life, his old master phase, that he entered his artistic prime. So this includes early spring, Tokyo Twilight, Equinox Flower, late autumn, and the end of summer. These 5 movies are all fantastic. And if you guys are new to Criterion and don't know the Eclipse line, it's kind of like their, I don't want to use the word budget line because that kind of sounds disrespectful, because the films that they put out here are very, very worth your time, worth your money, and worth your investment. But they are in these digipacks, and like a little thin cardboard kind of holds them together. I have a couple other ones, and I'm very excited. I just got this today as well. And something else I just got today, the greatest movie of all time, the best movie of all time, Salo, or 120 Days of Sodom. Now, this movie is out of print now, so if you, you don't pay over, market value pricing, because this is a very disgusting film. It's a very disturbing film. Italians do it best. I'm Italian, so, but yeah, it's a really good film. If you can stomach it, it's a masterpiece, but it is very, very disturbing, and I mean very disturbing. So, all right, we're just going to kind of go through these quick. I got Dragon Inn by King Hu, and this is, I want them to put out more, I believe it's pronounced wuxia, which is like kung fu, Chinese kung fu films that have like a little touch of fantasy to it. So this was in 1967. There's a couple other films by this director in the Criterion collection that I'm going to eventually pick up. Something I loved, An Actor's Revenge. This and the Mad Fox, sorry, both have a kabuki theater style to them, and I love that art. I love that artistic design, and I really hope one day I can go to Japan and see a real kabuki theater. But this is spine number 912, and by the way, Salo is spine number 17, so they put that out pretty early in the Criterion collection. And then another absolute masterpiece that I think is underrated. Not a lot of people talk about An Actor's Revenge and then the next two films at all. But Sancho the Bailiff is an utter masterpiece. This is spine number 386. I really like the packaging on this one. It's a digifold with a really incredibly thick book. So go pick this up. And then we got Yugetsu, which is spine number 309, another Japanese masterpiece. Came out in 1953. And then something that I had, and I must have misplaced it or must have sold it back a while ago, but I picked up Quiden. Again, this is I don't need to talk about this. This is literally a masterpiece. This is one of my favorite films of all time. So I highly recommend this, especially with the Criterion 50% off sale coming up from Barnes & Noble here soon. And then we got Pierre Le Fou. I hoping I am saying that correctly. But this is a fantastic film. I really, really enjoyed it. And my Barnes & Noble had it a whole week early. Now, I think the rest of the Criterion films that are about to be shown off, I have done a video on. So if you want to click on my channel, subscribe, and go through, you will see you'll see a video where I dive into these a little bit deeper. But we got Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project Volume 3, which includes 6 films, which are Lucia, After the Curfew, Pixodi, Dos Manes, Soliolo, and Downpour. All these films are fantastic. I'm picking up the other 2 during the Criterion sale because I was so impressed by this box set. And then we got Beau Travail, which was my favorite Criterion release of the month of September. And then we got Brute Force and Naked City, both by Jules Dassin. Both are good movies. I liked Brute Force just a little bit more. And then we got Christ of the Ebony, a very slow burn, but a very rewarding film. So if you are even interested in something that's a little bit more heady, I recommend you pick this up. Then we got The Elephant Man, a movie that I have a personal connection to. If you want to know why, I highly suggest you watch my video on this stuff. So now we're getting into the Arrow releases. I've showed some of these off on a video before, but I literally got all of these in the last month. So we'll kind of just go through these real quick. But we got Vincent Price in 6 Gothic Tales. This is a Region B release, but this includes The Fall of the House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, Tales of Terror, The Raven, The Haunted Palace, and Tomb of Ligeia. Beautiful packaging, as always. Arrow is becoming my favorite boutique Blu-ray label. Then we got Macabre Visions, the films of Mario Bava, one of the greatest Italian directors of all time. This includes Black Sunday, The Girl Who Knew Too Much, Black Sabbath, Kill Baby Kill, $5 for an August Moon, A Bay of Blood, Baron Blood, Lisa and the Devil, and Rabid Dogs. This is, again, a Region B release. I don't know if these two I think these two did get a Region A release. I could just be wrong, though. Usually I am pretty wrong, so don't take my word as the gospel, especially when it comes to boutique Blu-rays. I'm not a know-it-all. To continue the horror trend, because it is October, we got Edgar Allan Poe's Black Cats. These are 2 films which adapt the Black Cat story, which is Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat and Sergio Martino's Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. That's my favorite out of these 2. I believe this is a Region A release. It is. So I think these boxes are out of print, but you can find a couple of these for not too much. And then I'm throwing this in with the Arrow release because it is Arrow. It's the same exact box set as a Region B from Arrow. I've actually never ordered anything from this company before, but it's ABKCO. But this is the Alejandro Jordaowski Box Set. Fantastic box set. Of course, El Topo is my favorite film of this lot. But 4 films, nice, sturdy box set. Looks good right next to the Arrow video stuff. And then just kind of going through these fast, we got Suzuki, the early years, Volume 1, Volume 2 is severely out of print, so I will be keeping an eye out for a good deal hopefully soon. I love this director. He's one of my all-time favorites, and I would love to have a complete collection of his works that are out or available with English. Then a really cool box set, which is George A. Romero's Between Night and Dawn. So these are the movies that he made between Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, which are The Crazies, Season of the Witch, and There's Always Vanilla. Really nice box set. I think that one is still in print. Hellraiser. This is not the Scarlet box. This is just Hellraiser 1 through 3. 3 being my personal favorite out of the bunch, which is kind of the odd thing to say. Then we got Dario Argento's The Cat of Nine Tails. This is just a nice special edition. I love when Arrow does these little condensed special editions with a nice hardcover still. Then we got Warning from Space. This just showed up today. This is a terrible movie, but I love terrible things. I have terrible taste. The Deeper You Dig, which is actually pretty cool. This is a family-made film, so it was literally the mom, the dad, and the daughter. I don't know why Arrow's putting so much stock into this film. Like, there's a big poster, a book, there's a lot of special features. There's a second movie on this too, which is called The Hatred. A little weird that they're putting so much stock behind this release, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Then my favorite Arrow video box set of the year that's come out in 2020 is Graveyards of Honor. I've done a video on this, so if you want to know more, click on the thing below. And my something I've been looking for a very long time. One of my favorite Japanese directors is Kenji Fukusaku. And I had these films in the singles, but when I came across this deal, I had to jump on it because this was an extraordinary deal for how much these are selling on the secondhand market. But we are talking about Kenji Fukusaku's Battles Without Honor and Humanity, the complete set. So what is exclusive to this is this disc right here, which is Battles Without Honor and Humanity, the complete saga, which condenses the first 4 movies into a condensed version, and then you get a nice hardbound book of the Yakuza papers. This is an absolute beautiful box set. I am so happy to finally own this. Even before I really started collecting Blu-rays, I had these singles because I love Yakuza films. I love Japanese cinema in general. It's my favorite region that has put out movies. I've always been drawn to Japanese entertainment, and those movies are some of my absolute favorites. And when this box set, when I came across this deal, I had to jump on it. So anyways, guys, that has been the haul for the month of September and October. The next couple months might be a little crazy. I sold a lot of manga, and the Criterion sales are coming on. So I hope to see you guys soon. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys next time.